the Real Truth Sing-Along. You've heard me right. The Real Truth Sing-Along. I'm thinking we don't have enough music on this show from day to day, so today we're going to have a sing-along, and I invite you to sing along. You're not going to be singing along with me. God help everybody. I've got a terrible singing voice. Let's sing along with our vice presidential nominee in waiting, Carly FIORINA. Here we go.
I'm so happy I can see them more. 'Cause we travel on the bus all day, we get to play. We get to play. I won't bore you with any more of the song. But they have 4 verses, Caroline and Catherine. Love you, girls.
So my friends, America wants presidential. No, we can't have Donald Trump. He's not presidential. Okay. Here's Ted Cruz's running mate, Carly FIORINA, singing children's songs in front of a bunch of voters. Is that presidential for you? All right, maybe it's not. I'll do better for you. You know, I'm here for you. Let me do better for you. Here's Carly FIORINA talking about her running mate, Ted Cruz. Listen to this.
But I would say that Ted Cruz is just like any other politician. He says one thing in Manhattan, he says another thing in Iowa, he says whatever he needs to say to get elected, and then he's going to do as he pleases. I think the American people are tired of the political class that promises much and delivers much of the same.
You want presidential, right? That's all I've heard for the past 10 months. Trump isn't presidential. Okay. Now we've got a singing vice presidential nominee, maybe, but potential nominee, a singing vice president, and a president who can't be trusted according to the singing vice president. Now when Donald Trump told you that lying Ted Cruz was a liar, everyone said, oh, well, what do you expect? He's running against Cruz. And when I told you Ted Cruz was a liar, you said, well, what do you expect? He likes Donald Trump. But here's Ted Cruz's own running mate. And because I love you, I'm going to play it again. And of course, you'll find this on my Facebook page, Real Truth Radio. Carly FIORINA saying that Ted Cruz is just like every other politician. He'll say anything he needs to in order to get elected. Here, let's listen again. Here's Carly, the singing vice presidential nominee.
But I would say that Ted Cruz is just like any other politician. He says one thing in Manhattan, he says another thing in Iowa, he says whatever he needs to say to get elected, and then he's going to do as he pleases. I think the American people are tired of the political class that promises much and delivers much of the same.
Well, Carly, you know what? You're right. The American people are sick of the same old, same old. Not only the political class that promise everything and deliver nothing, yes, also people in politics who will say and do anything at all in order to get elected. Americans are sick to death of that. Ted Cruz is doing that. John Kasich is doing that. And Carly, baby, you are doing that. Only a few months ago, you had Cruz pegged as a typical lying politician. Now you've gotten to know him, and he's a wonderful person who would make a great president, and just by coincidence, he's offered you the vice presidency. So, Carly, it turns out you're not such an outsider after all. You played the same slimy, sleazy, hypocritical, lying game that politicians play. Congratulations, Carly. You've been reborn as a politician. And you make us sick. I don't care if you're singing children's songs, although I think that's kind of dippy, personally. And I don't care if Ted Cruz throws a Hail Mary pass in the shape of a collusion with Ted Kasich, which tells the American voters to go screw off. Doesn't matter what you want. Doesn't matter whom you want. All that matters is what we want. And also, I'm not talking about the fact that Cruz and Kasich refused to drop out of the race so that the Republican Party can come together and unite and defeat Hillary Clinton. Yeah, forget all that. I object to the fact, Carly, that you've been mouthing off about politicians and the political class and the Beltway elite for months, for most of the last year, and here you are revealed to be exactly like them. You're a hypocrite and a liar, Carly Fiorina, which makes sense since you're the vice presidential nominee, hopefully with lying Ted Cruz. I'm going to play it a third time in case people just walked into the room and haven't heard it yet. Listen, Carly Fiorina talking about her running mate, Ted Cruz.
But I would say that Ted Cruz is just like any other politician. He says one thing in Manhattan, he says another thing in Iowa, he says whatever he needs to say to get elected, and then he's going to do as he pleases. I think the American people are tired of the political class that promises much and delivers much of the same.
And we're tired of the lying class. We're tired of the I want what I want and screw everybody else class, Carly. Maybe you've got a future as a singer for children. Maybe you can become a high school, a grade school, or a kindergarten teacher and sing to children. Your voice isn't that bad. Politics? No thank you. We've already got enough lying politicians. We got enough hypocrites, people who will sleaze their way into office. Don't need any more, Carly. Thank you. Now the rest of the country, they're laughing at Carly Fiorina and Ted Cruz and John Kasich, but especially Cruz and Fiorina, laughing at them because it's so preposterous that Ted Cruz could get his head handed to him and lose 5 primaries all in the same night and 12 hours later declare his vice president. That's funny enough. It's funny enough that Cruz and Kasich decided to tag team Donald Trump because they're both puny dwarves who can't beat him one-on-one, and then got their heads banged together like the Three Stooges. The funniest thing at all is that the outsider Carly Fiorina, who warns everybody about politicians, turns out to be a politician. A lying, hypocritical, insipid, greedy, ambitious politician. And that's the introduction to the show today, my friends. It's Real Truth. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Go nowhere.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to happyhens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At happyhens.biz, we love happyhens.biz, or call us at 303-829-5948.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth. How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices on the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green Earth herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Kipling Street using the highest quality herbs that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit. Just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
so just to finish the thought, I don't care that Carly Fiorina was the first female CEO of a Fortune 20 company. I couldn't care less. We don't need a CEO in a brassiere. That doesn't make the world a better place. What makes the world a better place is people stepping up to positions of leadership not through chicanery, but by telling the truth. Like Donald Trump has. He hasn't lied. And he's dominating the political scene in America. Carly Fiorina, yes, she's got a bra strapped on, and yes, I'm confident she's got a vagina. But she's also a laughingstock today. And she's also lost my and a lot of other people's respect today. Let's jump to Alex Jones at Infowars.com. He's got Roger Stone on again. We're going to get another blast of truth. Let's listen.
They try to take reality and invert it like it's dirty, but Trump just dominated. He's come out and said Hillary'd be 5 points if she was a man. Well, yeah, like Jeb Bush was 5 points. They say, oh, that's sexist. They are in panic mode. This is so exciting, so historical. I don't even know what to say at this point. Let's go to Roger Stone. He'll tell us where he is. He's always all over the U.S., working like 18 hours a day. I get text messages from this guy at 6 a.m. and 3 a.m. at night. I tell you, Trump ought to give this guy a medal. Roger Stone, great to have you on, my friend. It is just so exciting what's happened. I'm going to try to shut up till 33 after when we take a few calls with their questions at 800-259-9231. First-time callers. Quick question for Roger Stone, 800-259-9231. But until then, sir, congratulations on your work. Congratulations to Donald Trump. Congratulations to the American people. He just gains momentum. So many questions, but I'm just going to let you take the helm, sir.
Well, first of all, Donald Trump deserves enormous credit for the big win last night. And it was sweeping, breaking more than 50% in every state. It demonstrates why I think Trump is, in fact, the candidate the Democrats are afraid of, because he runs well in the industrial Northeast and the Middle West, and those states that have been ravaged by NAFTA and now that would be ravaged by TPP and Ted Cruz's expedited trade globalist deal, TPA. So it was a big, big night for Donald Trump. It was also a big night for his team. They are living off the land. They're running a true grassroots campaign. The Pennsylvania situation is particularly interesting because you had really two primaries, a delegate primary and a preferential primary. Trump ran away with the preferential primary, but in order to vote for the Trump delegates, you had to know who the delegates were. So a massive education project there. Two top political operatives, David Urban and Jim Schultz, along respected federal and state Republican operatives, kind of parachuted in there at the last minute and worked with the local Trump people who were very enthusiastic to build a very solid ground game, a true grassroots operation. Very impressive. So it shows again that the Northeast, like the Midwest, is Trump country.
So is the South. I mean, people just love Trump. And I've got to interrupt you. Looking at the frontofdrudgereport.com, Roger, he looks so presidential in that foreign policy speech. I mean, wow. If people wanted to be impressed with him being focused, that was it. I want that guy to represent me.
Well, it was the perfect tone. I mean, this speech really defined Trump's foreign policy. Now you can see that Richard Haas of the Council on Foreign Relations has had no effect whatsoever on his thinking. Trump is a bold nationalist. He is for American sovereignty. He's for the restoration of American power. He's against some globalist scheme. And most importantly, he is most definitely not a neocon. He's a non-interventionist. That's not an isolationist, but he quotes John Quincy Adams in his speech, saying we shouldn't go looking for trouble around the world. That's the guy I want.
If I liked Trump before, I'm in love now. Roger, what is it like for you as one of his chief strategists? This is history happening, an epic battle with the collectivists and the communist Chinese and the jihadis telling us we can't have Trump and the sickening mentally ill left. I mean, this is incredible.
It's really something I have never seen before in American politics. Trump has said this a number of times. It's not about him. It's about a revolution. It's about a last best chance to save the country. So a big contest with Indiana coming up. This is going to be pivotal. This is Ted Cruz's last hurrah. But some breaking news today at 4 o'clock Eastern. Ted Cruz will announce that Carly Fiorina will be his running mate for vice president.
Wait, has that been announced, or are you giving us inside baseball?
It is known to those of us who are professional.
Okay, so we're going to run with the headline. Roger Stone, Cruz will announce Fiorina as running mate at 4 o'clock.
That is what I predict. Now, let's go through that
Let it
for
out.
a moment.
Go ahead.
She's John McCain's chief issue advisor. She, as the head of executive at Hewlett-Packard, let me just put it this way: layoff, outsourcing, golden parachute. She's Mitt Romney in heels. She tried this in California. She was ignominiously defeated when those very arguments were made. She is a rock-ribbed member of the establishment. I like the way she cuffs Hillary Clinton around, but she's not doing that for her country or party. She's doing it for herself. So another globalist, another internationalist.
Yeah, she's somebody that comes and sells off Hewlett-Packard and downsizes it, and they call her a genius in the mainstream media.
Well, not only that, but there's very strong evidence that she broke the Iranian sanction rules doing business in that part of the world. So this is the last woman that you want as...
Oh, I forgot. She's been on the payroll of the Iranians.
Yeah, no, this is a horrific choice by Ted Cruz. Now, with every possibility, Alex, you have so much reach and influence that Ted Cruz will hear about this and change his mind before 4 o'clock, but I rather doubt it.
Wow, okay, please continue. Roger Stone, this is incredible. Please continue.
Well, Indiana will be pivotal. I don't see Carly Fiorina giving Ted Cruz any bump there. I mean, this is, I guess Cruz thinks this is Reagan-esque. I mean, it's like when Ronald Reagan picked Dick Schweiker, who turned out to be a very fine man. And by the way, one of the most important members of Congress, skeptical about the Warren Commission and skeptical about the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. And a free thinker, a solid Second Amendment man, ironically, but a liberal Republican on social issues. I got to know he and his wife Claire, who you may know was once Miss Claire on Romper Room, very, very fine people, later served in Ronald Reagan's cabinet. But this is not Dick Schweiker. This is someone who has the globalist stamp. And I don't see, other than her gender, what she brings to a ticket. I guess what Cruz is saying is that he couldn't beat Hillary alone. Maybe I could beat her with this woman on the ticket.
Sure, now he's going to pull what Trump said. I mean, I'd love to have a woman I believed in, like a Michelle Bachmann would be great, or somebody like the former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, who are patriots. I mean, it's not that we're against women. It's true. Hillary can hardly talk. She's got all this corruption. She's about to probably be indicted. All this stuff's going on, and Trump says, listen, if she was a man, she'd be 5%. They say he's anti-woman. No, he told the truth. Your take on his statement?
No, I think it's exactly why people love Donald Trump, because he's blunt. He tells you what he really thinks, and it's the God's honest truth. Look, her entire campaign is predicated on the premise that she will get a disproportionate number of votes among women. And I say to you, Alex, when women learn of her real abuse of women, the way she is bullied and intimidated and threatened, Bill's sexual assault victims, is serial.
Game over. By the way, let me stop you right there. That's why you're banned on CNN, MSNBC, and everywhere else. That's why you're banned, is because they're so scared they'll bring that up. Stay right there. Roger Stone, StoneZone.com. We'll back in 4 minutes. We're going to reconnect with him on Skype. He said, look, you can't ignore this. It's going to blow up in your face if you try to steal the election from Trump. What does your gut tell you, Roger Stone?
Well, the Cruz operatives are still talking about going into the Rules Committee and passing a rule that would knock out some of Donald Trump's delegates, and then that question comes to the convention floor prior to the first ballot in the approval or disapproval of the proposed rules. This is why I've been talking about the so-called Trojan horse delegates. While Donald Trump may have a majority for president on the first ballot, I think the anti-Trump forces will have a majority on the floor on questions of rules and credentials. There's any number of ways to steal this nomination by an adversarial report from either one of those committees that use trickery to unseat validly elected Trump delegate. So I still think that is the establishment game plan. That's why we started StopTheSteal.org. The rally and march, which is now scheduled for July 18th. We have received our permit from the city of Cleveland. We have a number of co-sponsors beyond Stop the Steal, including Citizens for Trump, Women for Trump, Bikers for Trump, Veterans for Trump, and WeWillWalk.org. So the list of co-sponsors for the rally, a peaceful, nonviolent rally where the object is numbers. Let us show the Republican establishment our grassroots.
Everybody's got a book to be there now. This is history. I'm going to be there, be speaking. Roger Stone, you need to be part of this, folks. To stand up for free speech, for the voting, for all of it. And expanding on this, you've always got big breaking news. You've always got inside baseball tidbits. Give us a bone. What's coming up in the next few days, the next few weeks? What else should we be watching for?
Well, Indiana is crucial. Even in my most conservative count, and I'm keeping my own kind of private count, I currently have Donald Trump worst case at 1250. So, and I know that the Republican National Chairman, who I think is kind of playing a double game where he is conciliatory to Trump and his campaign people in private, but he is working behind the scenes against us. That's my opinion, by the way, not the official opinion of anyone else. But I do think that there is, a need to show the politicians inside the hall what they will be losing, the energy and the diversity that they will be losing if they euchre this nomination away from Donald Trump.
So you're basically, and others, warning them that, listen, Trump is going to win. He can destroy Hillary. What are you doing? You're going to destroy yourself. Don't do this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, look, I have suggested that we go to the delegate hotels with copies of the pledge. People from Pennsylvania go to the Pennsylvania Delegate Hotel, track down your elected representatives and ask them to take the pledge. It's voluntary. They don't need to take it. They don't have to take it. But if they don't, then the media can ask them why the votes of the people in Pennsylvania
We're simply
don't matter.
canvassing who's going to represent the people and who's going to steal it. First Amendment, right of association, and that's why all these big channels are throwing hissy fits claiming that you're a terrorist.
Yeah, no, it's an absurdity. It's a classic example of a mainstream media mugging, where CNN took a bite out of context. If they played my entire thought, even, they would have seen that I renounced violence. I'm a veteran of the 1968 Nixon campaign. I saw what violence did to Hubert Humphrey's campaign, and therefore, I think the greater
You've never promoted it, and it's pure horse manure. It's the left running around beating people up and shooting cops in the back of the head.
Well, and the irony here, of course, is that those who are coming to Cleveland for violence are the paid agitators from MoveOn.org and Black Lives Matter and other lefty Clinton-supporting Soros-funded groups. They're there to provoke violence, to incite violence, and then the mainstream media will falsely blame that violence.
That's right. Stay there. Let's talk about the Soros false flag straight ahead and take phone calls with Roger.
All right, guys, you can see this video on my Facebook page, Real Truth Radio. Roger Stone has got the skinny. And the powers that be, listen, you and I are impressed with the fact that Trump has absolutely dominated. And so you and I and everybody else across the fruited plain and say, oh, by now it's obvious, it's Trump. Don't discount the greed, the ambition, the thirst for power, and the fear that they're going to be giving these things up on the part of the RNC establishment. I have no doubt that they would kill people if they thought that would get them what they wanted. They will stop at nothing to cheat you and me out of our votes, out of our choice, out of the candidate of our choice. Because they don't care about us. They don't even care about losing to Hillary Clinton. Because Clinton plays the game. They can play ball with Clinton, and that they get to keep all their goodies, even with Hillary as a president, as America burns. We'll be back.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to happyhens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At happyhens.biz, we love happyhens.biz. Or call us at 303-829-5948.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities as modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial-scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom-designed system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network. Since the uniformed people in Greeley ask everyone to get involved in our community this holiday season, whether it's a toy for a needy child, care package for military members, or giving the gift of life by giving blood, you can make a difference and directly affect someone else's life. This message is from Centus, the uniformed people in Greeley. Call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. Named one of the most admired outsourcing companies in America. Centus.
All right, guys, welcome back to Real Truth. I am here. Let's have, let's see. How about Wild Bill for America weighing in on Donald Trump? Here we go.
I want that wall between the U.S. and Mexico built. I want it built to be the biggest, meanest wall in the world, and I want the world's toughest military to man that wall and stop every single criminal that dares to cross it. Hello, everybody. Wild Bill for America here. And I want that wall built because it will be a symbol to the world that the United States of America is still the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we will not be pushed around by freedom-hating leftists, bloodthirsty religious fanatics, or even corrupt politicians in our own government. No other nation represents freedom to the world like the USA. The border wall would reassure the decent people of this world that even though the USA has been viciously attacked by Obamaism, we are still standing strong. Oh, I know the Democrats whine about how wrong it would be to militarize our border, but any third grader has sense enough to know that the first duty of any military is to defend the borders of its own nation. Personally, I suspect there are some elected officials who have pocketed a lot of money from the drug cartels to keep our border wide open. It's about time to get our military out of that horrible mess that Obama has created in the Middle East. And for you liberals, let me spell that out for you. Barack Obama deliberately lost the war that George W. Bush had already won. It's time for Europe to step up and take responsibility for the Middle East barbarians who are threatening the very existence of the free nations in Europe. The USA has been Big Brother for long enough. Put our military on our southern border. and turn that entire area into the world's most advanced research lab for detection and interception of threats. And here's something few have thought of. That massive wall and military force would be a powerful foundation from which to destroy Mexico's drug cartels, and probably half the Mexican government who are in bed with the cartels. Mexico is no friend of the USA. They have sabotaged our national security, harmed our job market, and endangered our citizens. It's time for our military to actually defend America for a change. I had to shake my head the other day when the Pope, of all people, said that building the wall would be unchristian. Well, I can confidently say that the Pope is wrong, quite often. How do I know the Pope is wrong? I read the Bible. Come on through. It's pointing this way. And in typical liberal style, the Pope is living behind massive walls that were built to keep out the Muslims. My sympathies to my Catholic friends. You guys have some problems in the leadership in your church, and I suggest you do something about that. Meanwhile, I am rooting for the Great Wall of America to be built so that the freedom-hating left will have something new to complain about. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching, and America bless God. Again.
Wild Bill for America is one of my favorite people. So, by the way, is Judge Janine Pirro on Fox News. Let's have her weigh in.
Welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Janine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. As the world comes crashing down around her, Hillary Clinton, in panic mode, displays what kind of president she would be. One who simply can't cope, can't take the pressure, and would be a danger to this country. Now, Bernie Sanders has won 6 of the last 7 contests in a primary that was supposed to be sewn up by her in February. Clearly a deja vu for her. Like 8 years ago, when another little-known senator named Barack Obama was beating her for the nomination that was supposed to be hers. Her teary meltdown on full display. Fast forward, the energy, the momentum, and the passion now with Bernie Sanders. Another little-known senator predicted to win yet another primary this Tuesday in Wisconsin. In spite of the Democratic primary race being rigged in her favor, her frustration is excruciatingly obvious. Superdelegates are already committed to her in states where the primary hasn't even been held. And like a parent scolding a 5-year-old at the beginning of the week, her campaign warning Bernie Sanders to watch your tone. This after Bernie outed her on a $4.5 million contribution from the fossil fuel lobby, which she said was not the fossil fuel industry. As if these lobbyists are there to convince her to support the Girl Scouts. And by the end of the week, she segued to full hysteria.
Will you act on your words and reject fossil fuel money in the future of your campaign?
I do not reject money for people who work for fossil fuel companies. I am so sick. I am so sick of the Sanders campaign lying about me. I'm sick of it. And when the stakes couldn't be higher, a federal investigation, run by possibly the most honest, clear-headed, brilliant, experienced prosecutor in the nation, who I'm sure, along with 147 FBI agents on her case, didn't appreciate her poo-pooing their investigation.
Are you 100% confident that nothing is going to come of this FBI investigation?
I am 100% confident. This is a security review that was requested. It is being carried out. It will be resolved. I think the American people will know it's an absurdity. I have absolutely no concerns about it whatsoever. And just like I never sent or received classified emails, thereafter amended to emails marked classified, we all stood witness to the unraveling, the almost embarrassing truth play out. And when the FBI directs the Department of State to halt its internal investigation, it does so because it's close to ended. At the center of this investigation is an informant. That person, Brian Pagliano, who set up her homebrewed server, given immunity. Now I ask you, why would Pagliano negotiate for immunity and take the fifth if there was nothing he could be prosecuted for? I predicted months ago when he pled the fifth that Justice Department had him by the short hairs and he would soon spill the beans.
My friends, I can sense the noose, so to speak, tightening around Hillary's throat, and I gotta tell you, I love it. Item. From the New York Post, Donald Trump will likely wind up winning the most primary votes of any GOP presidential candidate in modern history. The author of the influential Smart Politics blog told the New York Post on Wednesday. After convincing victories in Tuesday's primaries in 5 East Coast states, Trump has roughly 10.1 million votes, about 200,000 more than Mitt Romney got during the entire 2012 primary campaign. Now, my friends, realize we still have 10 primaries to go, and Trump has already gotten more than 200,000 votes more than Mitt Romney 4 years ago. Part of that is the fact that Americans are responding to Trump's message and his truth, and part of it is the fact that Mitt Romney is and was an irrelevant weenie who never should have been put up there in the first place. Item from the Washington Examiner, a large majority of 2016 campaign reporters anticipate Hillary Clinton will be the next president, according to a new survey. Unquote. My friends, I'm a reporter. Been one for almost 4 decades. I'll tell you, reporters are supposed to remain fair, unbiased, impartial, and objective. Well, the hell with that. They like Hillary Clinton. And so if you want fair, balanced, objective news, you can go piss in the wind. They're going to do what they want to do. We'll be back. Guys, I'm all done for the week. I will be back on Monday, okay, with more Real Truth. Check out my Facebook page, Real Truth Radio. Read my book. You can get it everywhere online. Real Truth, Stay Angry. Get it at Amazon, get it at Barnes & Noble, get it at virtualbookworm.com. You owe it to yourself, your family, your friends, your state, your city, your country to know what's really going on. You want the real truth? That's why you're listening to the show. Well, there's a lot more real truth in that book. I will see you on Monday. Listen to me. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay angry. Hasta lumbago.